Avatar: The Last Airbender's finale poses one of the most compelling moral dilemmas in animation history. In the series finale, Aang must decide, should he kill Fire Lord Ozai to ensure peace, or risk the fate of the world by trying to find another way that aligns with his values. Aang's decision to spare Ozai's life, using energy bending to remove his fire bending, has sparked some debate among fans. Some hail it as a beautiful act of mercy, while others dismiss it as lazy writing, citing the sudden appearance of the lion turtle. But what if this moment isn't just convenient? What if it's a culmination of everything the series has been building toward? To fully understand the energy bending resolution, we first need to unpack Aang's choice and the immense weight of the stakes involved. By the time Aang confronts Ozai, the Fire Nation has spent a century spreading destruction, plunging the world into chaos. The balance Aang has sworn to protect has been shattered. Entire cultures have been erased and families torn apart, and countless lives lost. Aang has seen the devastating consequences of this war firsthand. He's wandered through the hollow ruins of the Air Nomad temples, their walls still scarred by the genocide of his people. He's walked through the polluted village in the Painted Lady episode, where families struggle to survive amidst Fire Nation exploitation. He knows the scale of the suffering, and what's at stake if he doesn't put an end to the 100-year war. At the center of this devastation stands Fire Lord Ozai, a man who doesn't just represent the Fire Nation's aggression, but embodies its very philosophy of domination. Ozai is the source of the suffering, the symbol of unchecked power and destruction. Defeating him would end the war, but at what cost? For Aang, the thought of taking a life, even Ozai's, clashes with everything he's been taught as a monk. His commitment to non-violence is one of the things that defines him, and it deepens his inner struggle. Even Aang's closest allies, Katara, Sokka, and Toph, see death as the only way to bring peace. But Aang is heartbroken. They don't truly understand the impossible choice he faces. Killing Ozai would go against everything the Air Nomads taught him, that all life is sacred, no matter what. This struggle encapsulates the heart of Aang's character arc. On one side, he's the Avatar, a bridge between the human and spirit worlds, tasked with restoring balance at any cost. On the other hand, he's a monk, raised to believe that all life is sacred, even the life of the tiniest spider-fly caught in his own web. Desperate for guidance, Aang turns to Avatar Yang Chen, the previous Air Nomad Avatar. If anyone could understand Aang's struggle, it would be her. As a fellow Air Nomad, and a reflection of ideas he's been taught, Aang hopes she'll validate his refusal to kill. Yang Chen does empathize with the impossible position he's in, yet her advice shatters his expectations. She tells him, the Avatar's duty comes before his own spiritual needs. Her words leave Aang reeling. If even Yang Chen, the one who should align most closely with his values, believes duty outweighs his personal beliefs, where can Aang turn to make sense of this internal battle? Critics often point to the lion turtle as the weak link in Aang's resolution. It's easy to see why. They argue that the lion turtle suddenly appears as this unexplained force that saves Aang from making the tough choice. With so little build-up to its role and such high stakes at play, it's understandable that many view this moment as a shortcut. An example of lazy writing taking away from the emotional weight of Aang's dilemma. After all, the lion turtles are only briefly referenced once in Wang Shitong's library. For a figure so integral to Aang's ultimate decision, this lack of development can feel like a narrative oversight. People argue that the resolution could have been more impactful if the lion turtles were woven into the story earlier, or tied more closely to Aang's personal journey. But when viewed from a different perspective, Aang's encounter with the lion turtle isn't a shortcut. It's the natural conclusion of his internal conflict. Let me explain. Before encountering the lion turtle, Aang admits that he might have no choice but to kill Ozai. This moment is heartbreaking. It shows just how heavy the burden of his role is, and how the weight of the world has pushed him to the brink of abandoning his ideals. This moment isn't a betrayal of his values, but rather a reflection of just how impossible his choices seem. This is where the lion turtle's arrival becomes crucial. The lion turtle doesn't save Aang from his moral dilemma, it reflects his unwavering belief that there must be another way. Its arrival is the universe's way of affirming Aang's growth, his commitment to peace, and his refusal to compromise his values. He faces it head on and proves that staying true to your values can lead to something greater, showing that peace doesn't have to come at a cost of your soul. Now I get it, you might be thinking, really, the universe affirmed his values? That just makes you sound like an English teacher pondering too hard. And honestly, I get where you're coming from. It does sound like I'm reading way too much into this, but hear me out. Avatar: The Last Airbender isn't the kind of show that just throws random plot devices at the wall to see what sticks. Every piece of its storytelling feels deliberate, carefully thought out, and deeply tied to the world and its themes. It's hard to buy the idea that something as significant as the final conclusion of the entire series would be a product of lazy writing. The show draws heavily from spiritual philosophies like Taoism and Buddhism, and the lion turtle fits perfectly into that framework. It represents balance, wisdom, and harmony, concepts that are central to Aang's journey. So, sure, I might sound like your high school teacher right now, but given the context, I don't feel like the perspective is so far-fetched. What makes Aang's resolution so resonant is how it aligns with the spiritual foundations of Avatar, which draw heavily from Buddhist and Taoist teachings. I am by no means an expert when it comes to these religions, but both philosophies emphasize living authentically and in harmony with the natural order, trusting that doing so would lead to outcomes that align with the greater flow of the universe. Taoism has this idea called Wu Wei, or effortless action. It's all about staying true to yourself and not forcing things, trusting that the universe will respond when you do. This is exactly what happens with Aang's encounter with the lion turtle. Rather than providing an easy way out, it reflects the natural reward of Aang's dedication to his principles, presenting a solution that emerges from his values. Aang doesn't impose his will on the world, he finds harmony with it. This theme is deeply relatable. Think about it, how often do we face situations where we're staying true to our values feels impossible? Maybe it's at work, with friends, or just even making a tough choice. Like Aang, we can feel trapped between who we are and what the world asks of us. His story reminds us that holding firm to our values, even in the toughest situations, can lead to situations we couldn't have possibly imagined. One of the many beautiful aspects about Avatar is how it connects these ancient philosophies to modern struggles. It's not just a story about defeating a tyrant, it's about believing that staying true to your ideas can create a better world, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Aang's decision feels earned because it doesn't take the easy way out. Instead of defeating Ozai with raw power, he resolves the conflict in a way that reflects his values and his journey as the Avatar. It's not about proving he's stronger, it's about proving there's a better way. In the end, Aang's decision wasn't just a resolution to a moral dilemma, it was the perfect culmination of his growth as the Avatar. But what do you think? Was Aang's decision the perfect ending? Or do you think I'm just a dumb guy who tries too hard to justify lazy writing? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this analysis video, make sure to subscribe, there's plenty more to come. Peace.